We do. Make sure everything's working before we jump in and get very enthusiastic about this beautiful crypto market that we've been seeing over the last 2 days. Today is a very special one. We get in 5 minutes to be able to, in real time, witness what Rainbow Runner of our Rainbow Trends Indicator says about this most recent 2-day move. Literally 48 hours, ENA, Athena, has moved 48%. Yeah, kind of crazy. I know exactly what to do. I just need to take the actions. We were able to deploy some decent amount of funds initially. Captured more than half of the move. And currently just observing now. Yesterday, before going out, I was telling myself, I always have these voices in my head that tell me what the next move is going to be. I don't take the actions though. I ignored it. So what I said yesterday was there are a lot of coins pumping. I saw Trump coin pumping most recently, and then added a small position and said to myself, there are going to be multiple coins that are going to have 20% moves tomorrow, which is today. And if I can just find one or two of them, put 100K into it, we're good to go. I didn't do that. I just went out instead. And it's that natural inclination to, you can call it to be lazy or whatever. It just seems like it's something adverse. Okay, having hindsight here, ENA was the perfect candidate for this. And it looks like when I was going out, it would have been 7 p.m. So let's see. Was the move happening yesterday or the day before? It started happening. We'll look on the Bitcoin chart. That's the real move. So this would have been the 16th. Here's the 19th. Yeah. So this is the 19th. Literally yesterday and today, right? And it just keeps going. It's nonstop. Right here at 4 p.m. Yes. This is why I had that thought. Trump was pumping. And ENA had this move here. So I could have easily looked at this one and said, maybe this is going to be the top for this, is going to reverse because it's in this shaded area. However, knowing there's going to be a 20% pump, and there's more move on this. Let me start recording. I said I was going to set up, but I didn't even start recording. Very important to do that. Record. Hello. Is this thing on? Okay. Yes, it is. So as I was saying, we've been live for 5 minutes already, so I'll try to cover what I was saying earlier because this is a very important lesson. So had I seen ENA, Athena, yesterday at this area where it seemed like resistance, I need to be able to teleport myself into the future, which I already did, right? The premise was that since we started running, and this is a confirmed breakout with monster news about the US government buying Bitcoin and Hyperliquid coming into the US, It was very euphoric, but I knew that there was going to be more runners the next day, which is today. So upon looking at this chart, instead of being lazy and not looking at charts, I should have looked at charts. And if I saw ENA or anything like this, well, you know there's going to be another move. If the total move is going to be 20%, because Ethereum moved 20% in one day, then minimum we've got ourselves 10% here. But what we really have is another 30% move. And Bitcoin's on the move now. It just hit 74K. It's actually incredible. So if we look at ENA, that's what's happening there. And I really probably want to buy some right now. This is crazy. It's nonstop. I think we're just gonna go straight to all-time highs because everyone wants a pullback. And that's just not gonna happen. I want one, and it might happen over the weekend. Usually in the weekend we sell off, right? It's possible that it doesn't sell off this time. Ah, I'm not gonna play it though because we have our positions that are open already. And we've already sold a bunch, and I've been chopping myself around a lot, like hundreds I've been giving back. So I'm gonna just sit on my hands at this point. But MicroStrategy, all that music is, if you hear the music, I hope you do. It's Runner's stream that's going live. MicroStrategy has went from $96 up to 116 in 2 days. This is insane. Like I started buying some here, but I have no MicroStrategy, which is such a shame. It's only up 23%. But yeah, the market is getting completely pummeled. Shorts are covering at heavy rates. Coinbase is going, Circle is going. I know Circle is going. So yeah, I'm at least gonna add some to Circle and to Coinbase because these are gonna go ahead and hit all-time highs. I might as well partake in it. Round out these numbers here. Uh, it's you get FOMO, right? When things are moving. This tomorrow could be a pullback day since it's Friday. Maybe not though. This weekend might be really pumpy. And you know what? Looking back with the weekend that I got wiped and destroyed, uh, the weekend of July 4th to 7th, that was a weekend that was pumping. That should have been a pretty good sign. So for future reference, these weekend pumps, they don't come often, especially during the bear market. So if we get a weekend pump today too, I mean this weekend, it makes a lot of sense that we would. Just waiting. Oh, here's the winner. Just watch him talking about his AI stuff. He's been building robots. So ENA's one. I'm gonna put Trump here because that's what I actually bought into, and that went up pretty high. Look at this. So Trump pumped 20%. Meanwhile, ENA pumped 10. There was so many follow. There was so many other ones that you could have played. It's still, if this weekend is going to be a thing, we can find another one, and that's the goal. To find another one. So the goal of this stream, after we listen to Rainbow Runner, super smart, super intelligent, very technical. We're gonna go in and find. I'm gonna explain what I'm looking for and vocalize when I look at a chart. And then we're gonna find one or two coins and then make a bet on them and then see what happens over the weekend. We'll let it run for the next 3 days and see what happens when market opens on Sunday. crazy. Spring. Yeah, man. It's pretty dope. Bam, bam, bam. Let's go. So crazy. So But everyone's gonna say that it's because the news, Donald Trump had the news. It's just wick off accumulation at the bottom. Let's do this. About hobbies. And so we also have Bitcoin companies, memes, companies, same. Uh, Good option because they're liquid. This is pretty good. 5 year performance. This is crazy. Ever since the meme coin of performance all time, GameStop has done pretty well. 'Cause yeah, I mean, if you put $10,000 into each of these, you actually end up ahead. I'm not subscribed. What's up with that? I'm crazy. Yeah, crazy, crazy. This is what caused the yeah to happen. Smart. 75K. 75K, homie. Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Sheesh. Oh my gosh, we're gonna go. Happening. Happening, fellas. Chainlink. See, when Chainlink pops like this, I think it's kind of a top. There we go. Just buy. Yeah. Euphoric in his that's isn't that Flood's lawyer? Flood's lawyer. We're moving. That's what's happening right now. Woo. Fucking insane. Okay. The beta. Oh, it's a virtual thing. The reversion. Solana. I think 115 is the target. Virtuals is going to be the second cycle for virtuals. It makes sense that they would do very well because AI is going to have a thing. VPP and virtual are going to go. Andy's is down on 40. Base. Yeah, this was gotta actually get rid of some of these many technical ones. Too many technical alerts. Oops, hell. Okay, so this was clearly not a good move. But this we can treat that as resistance. It's not that. We can out AI. You creek, you spring, and then you jump. I don't think we have power here. Hyper liquid. Man, I lost so much in this account. It was doing good, and then maybe I guess some Unitree, like he was in the long Unitree. Anyways, you gotta look for something to long. I think Ondo might be a good one. Just watching. Crazy. This is on Bitcoin, yo. So it's good. This is a tool. This is an asset that you can just kind of like learn from because he's obviously got all the drawings and he's explaining his thought process. Yeah. AI. Let's worry about PAL because we can't buy PAL. It's on all these weird random AI. Oh, pretty wild. Fuck this coin. This coin is big. Yeah. This is great. It's actually getting it's catching Rainbow Runner's voice, and it's getting my voice. Is it getting my voice? "Hello, my name is Victor." It's fucking me up. It's fucking up my voice. Oh, well. What the you can't even mute it? Pause. Let me see. Yeah. Uh-huh. Looking for What's that all about? Holy shit. Fucking, we're so fucking bullish. Holy fuck, dude. I'm fucking scared. Like something needs to move. This is fucking cool. Yeah, we're kind of getting there. So, I'm down 4 so shit. So I like Giga. They're all just fucking moves anyways. Uh, everything is one. Fucking same, man. Mhm. Is it? We're done? Yes, that's it. All right. So what did we get from that stream? He goes through his typical set of tools, which is patented or I guess created by him, proprietary. We are subscribers of his tool, yearly subscription. So we have about 5 months left on our subscription. Hopefully, we can make it work. Damn, look at per. Jeez. It's pushing to 11. It's going to be 11 by tomorrow. This is insane. I may have just left like 20, 30 on the table here. Can we make up for it somehow? I'm not sure we can. Breaking all-time highs tomorrow on hype, possibly, potentially, probably. Wow. Wow. Last time we hit, yeah, I think 11 is all-time high on per. Sheesh. Okay, so covering what Rainbow Runner does is he'll go through what he sees on his tools that we also use, and then he explains whether it's bullish or bearish. He'll teach you how to use it. If you watch like 5 of his streams, you'd be pretty proficient at it. He basically says the same thing over and over again, but each week it's potentially something different. He used to be a little bit more excited about his work. It's just now, I guess he's done it for so many years that that's what you get. What did we learn? We clearly have a wick off bottom. That's fantastic. That means we're in the start of the next run, which we have already anticipated. We understand there's these pivots that are pretty close to the top here. I think we break through them, but we don't need to play it. We don't need to force it. It's very possible that we get the pullback before we push back up again. So if we get the pullback, easy all in. If it breaks through, then we have to wait for a pullback. We have a position in there. It's not as big as I'd want it to be, just because we sold a lot of this stuff in profit, which is good. It's okay. The goal now is, so very important points. I've been writing some notes as he was talking. it's really important to see what's going on with this area here. This happened to Bitcoin, but it has not happened to other altcoins yet. So the ones that haven't pushed through them, they have probably like a minimum 20% up to like 200% uh, reward. So if you look at a risk reward here, if you're willing to risk 10% in order to make 50% or 100%, 10x, 10 to 1 ratio, then this is for you. We need to do some charting, which is what we will do. Yeah, these reversion bands things, super great. These colorful candles, super great. And these pivots, I got to pay more attention to. I'm gonna do that. That's what I'll do this stream so that it'll give you a good idea on how my thought process is. And then we'll play one. We'll add one thing, we'll risk or 10%. We'll put like 10K in there, risk 10%, see what happens with it. If we lose $1,000. If we win, maybe we can win $2,000 or $3,000. With that being said, look at TeraWolf. TeraWolf is similar to Riot, the one that he just pulled up last. And we ended up bouncing off of this line that I extended over here. It's very possible that this is what happens. Because we don't see head and shoulders typically. This looks like it wants to form a head and shoulders. Since we're in such a bullish crypto AI environment, TeraWolf, which is backed by Google, is probably going to go ahead and run all-time highs. So, yeah, TeraWolf, good. We have it in our company portfolio, and if we can break out past this area definitively, I guess I don't mind missing out on the 7% because if we can get in up here, then it's still a pretty decent size move. And this was kind of what I wanted, like I predicted to happen. That didn't happen. So I sometimes just adjust it to look like this. And maybe this is what happens. Maybe, no. Probably if it does have one more drop, it could cut below the line and fake out to push to the next zone. This looks decent. That's not what we're here for, though. Let's go and find a coin. Now, you can easily just go ahead and look at Zcash and be like, that's the coin I want. You wouldn't be wrong for it, but it does look like it's tapping here. It's kind of like what Ethereum is doing. And what Ethereum is doing is tapping up on this resistance area. This, I have it mapped out to like 2,500. So maybe it does push out here and then come down to find some support down here. This is where I would want to be looking for some support because I drew 2 lines here a long time ago. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable to me. It'll come down like 10%, then proceed to 5x. So though, if those alerts hit, perfectly fine with that. However, if Ethereum pops tomorrow, then we're also looking at Zcash is not just going to stop here. It's probably going to pop tomorrow too, and then come back around. So you can find a big name and go, okay, my work is done. However, what fun is that? This one's already made such a huge move in the past, right? 3x, 68%. You want to find the ones that have yet to make a move. So like in the beginning of this stream, ENA was right here. It's up about 2%, which is pretty incredible. You want to be able to catch it as like this is the one I was discussing when he started going live, right? You want to catch it here, which was totally plausible in hindsight, but I had foresight, but I didn't do the action, right? So in the future, with that foresight, you go into the chart and then you go, what's next? And so what we want to do is find something that looks exactly like this. And Yeah, I think that's what it is. I'm going to leave this tab open so that we can just compare, right? What looks like this in the crypto place. I don't have too many tickers, so we can probably move through all of these and see which ones might resemble that. Put on the 4-hour chart as well to keep it consistent. It sucks that this looks like it's just going to do a head and shoulders, but it most likely won't. It's just going to go up. Robinhood's going to do well. The chain's going to do awesome. Tendy's going to go all-time highs. We're all going to be rich. That's probably what's going to happen. But like, what are we looking for here? Is there was two bottom areas here, is coiling, and then this pause and then a break. So there's this bottom. We came up to all-time highs, came down here. It might come down for a second bottom in order to push to all-time highs. I wouldn't really touch that one, especially since it's just come out recently. But we have this area. So this happened with Uni. It's up another, it went up another 8% from this area here, which was yesterday. That's already moved. I think basically everything already moved, which is pretty tragic. Like, this is the area that we're looking for all charts. 6% from there. ENA just was a special one. This was pretty perfect, actually. If you wanted to play this Giga, which I like Giga. It's one of those culture coins that I did identify early, made some cash, and then left before I did one of these. Like, when was it? It was probably here. Nope, it wasn't in 2026. Damn, this happened. It probably has another run in it. But I don't want to be doing it into resistance here. It's possible that everything just moves. A lot of these coins have already moved almost 1 to 2%, and it's only been 2 hours for them. So Mega had that pause here, and it moved another 8%. It's just all of these are doing it. They're all doing it. Virtual, I kind of want to see. It looks like this probably will happen. It just makes sense that alt season is going to happen at some point, but it might not happen immediately. Bitcoin's still making its move. When Bitcoin comes down, it might drop the altcoins with him, which is not a bad thing. That allows us to buy into it. We're not fully married to our bags at this moment, so no big deal. Man, this came down about 2%. We were kind of FOMOing a little bit earlier. Maybe it's a good idea to just sell some of this and then buy back before the market opens tomorrow. Nah, I'm not doing, like, that's crazy that it just keeps pushing it down. Yeah, I'm willing to I'm a buyer at cheaper prices. We're already past the 10, so my hope is that we hit 20 this time. Yeah, that's what we wanted to see, right? Was per. There we go. Ooh, let's see if this all played out. I haven't touched this chart in months. So, yeah, this was kind of the area where I pretty much stopped playing it. And it looks like really what I should have done was pay attention. Man, it actually. What was I doing on the 28th of July? I was traveling. Ah, shit. Wow. You see how it literally hit my alert and then boom. And I would have done it. So my calls would have been like 3 months ahead. I already have calls that I bought from last week, which are like 3x. But this is insane. I'm gonna look up how much it would have if I want to feel bad. This is the one. This is the single asset that I've played the most heavy in and out this year, and it did very well for me during this whole run up and everything. So, man, I'm pretty mad that on the 28th the alert came in and I didn't pay attention. Man, that was a while ago. I haven't checked. Yeah, look at that. Oh no, we got four. We got 4 alerts. Yeah, because the call is so easy to buy. Let's see what would have happened. I would have put maybe $4,000 into it. I already had like 16K in it, so I would have just rounded it out. But let's see. I had some December. Let's assume that I went with my same December ones because that's the one that I went with. I would have added. I had 80 of these contracts. I closed so much today. Um, okay, let's see what happened. 8x, 8x. Oh, yeah, 8x of 4Gs. Yeah, that's what would have happened. Literally the bottom, you know? Yeah. Okay. I mean, I knew it was gonna feel bad if I saw it because it's a little bottom all the way to like now. But it could have been even crazier. Like if it wasn't the December one, which most likely would have been, it would have been like 20x. Anyways, this is this type of stuff that you need to do, right? Like you put the alerts, you read the alerts every day, which I clearly do not. And then you just take action on the alerts. You get your 5-to-1 potential, 3-to-1 potential. You put your bets out there. You cash in if it moves in your favor, which is there's a high likelihood move, or you just move on to the next play. So let's analyze this chart because it's not obvious. You see how like even these old lines, they they're challenging the price action, right? So we want to get up to 1150. If it gets to here, I'm gonna start taking profits. That's exactly what it says here. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. It's probably gonna happen tomorrow. We'll see what happens after we hit this area. What most likely would happen is I wanted this to happen, but probably more like this, right? Yeah, we don't even care about this line anymore. What is this green one? Yeah, it's kind of resembles it. All right, from top to bottom here. This looks pretty good. I had that, yeah, I had it over here, but it was obviously I moved it over because why would it ever be there? Push that. How to break out this way. That makes a lot of sense. This is the foresight, right? You want to see this rounding shape happen. And so, if we go ahead and tomorrow we tap into here, we can basically safely assume it comes down to here. And then possibly something like this. Right? And then it would stop at 13, which is this technical area. And we like that as our final target. We can play this pretty aggressively. So if it comes down to here, you can buy the calls again, capture another 3-4x. This makes sense if we're looking at it from. I mean, this at this point we're telling another story. This is the first story. This is the second story, and now we're in the third chapter. This thing, if we can play, I think the opportunity is to play specifically this stock and ping pong it each time, getting better returns and just stack. Everything's already laid out here for per. So I'm just gonna set these alerts here. And then I like this one here too. But yeah, this one was a solid one. Even if you didn't get the 5x, the 8x, you get yourself 75%. That's amazing. 75%. I was a little scared here, I'm not gonna lie, when the price was here. That's the thing about options is once you buy the option, it's a bet. You can put it away. You could just forget about it, right? You either win or you lose. When you buy a stock, it's easy for you to like psych yourself out and sell. Give me a sec. I gotta check up on my log. Laundry was running for like 2 hours. Got a pair of jeans in there. Holy! Oh yeah, it's been doing this. It just keeps going, man. Yeah, and they might go back to all-time highs. So this is a special one, right? We've seen all these other charts, but nothing like this one. Athena. I don't know if it goes back to all-time highs, but it definitely is making a move. Like if we were to really play this prudently, we're looking at another potential 8%. At this point, you can almost bank that it's going to come up over here. Um, but I don't want to detract too much from our purpose here. But what I'd like to do is map out what I feel like is going to be where it's going to retrace. Right, so it hits here. It retraces back down to I don't know, whatever. ENA, it's already moved. We find another coin. Boo hoo, right? But yeah, Per's looking super solid. Let's go more. Let's go coin hunting, shall we? We still do want to see something that looks like this. That's kind of doing this little rounding thing because it's potential that it could still move a bit. So we looked at Jupiter virtual. I like virtual. So we did that here. A little pause. It did have a little pause here, and then it came up. This is not the best sign. Sold off into here. It could potentially break out tomorrow, but I don't. It's all the moves already happened, and you can also say that for here potentially. Like if you were looking at this, you might be scared as well. It's just, and I probably would be if this was yesterday. Just less though. Like this, can it really break through all of this? And the answer is it has a better chance just because there's so many people that are covering their shorts. There's so many people that are forced buyers right now. It's just not a smart, intelligent play. All right, so I don't want to keep rambling on. I want to at least explain a thought process that makes sense here. This is amazing. Wow, 1%. Plasma is also a first generation coin. Like it never did anything yet. It's just been down only. So potentially it's time for plasma to go. Potentially. It could still be a trap too. I would have wanted to get it down here. It's up 18%. You can just chill with it. Monad is the same way. I'm a little mad because I had like 30K of this and then I no longer have that because I was doing a degen. So now that it moved, I kind of want to watch this coin. But yeah, it already happened. Happened down here. Yeah, I guess it was up here. Yeah, I did buy some. I bought like a couple thousand before heading out, but it really should have. Uh, I know. So like that's the thing. I need to be able to express what I have high belief in, and then execution needs to happen because I don't know if it's scared. It's the when you need to focus on two things at a time, it's difficult to be the best at both. I think that's what it is. My natural skill set, yeah, because I got no problem slamming hundreds of thousands at stuff at times, and I also have no problem analyzing things at times. They both don't happen at the same time, though. Let me look this one. I want to see it come down to here. And then it's going for all-time highs. I don't hate this setup. From bottom to top is only a 100% move. So it has a lot more to go once it breaks that all-time high. Yeah, but so what do we have? What do we really have here? Oh, dog with hat moved. Oh man. So many things. So many things. July 4th, that's where I fucking crashed out. It did move down 25%. It makes sense that we're gonna at least reach back to this area. So another 10% move across the board makes a lot of sense. Another 10% move would be up to here. Should we go for that 10%? Ooh, let's see what happened with who? Human. It had its own mini pump, and now it's done. I think just this coin is just done, man. Tendies, we like tendies. We like tendies. Want to go back up here. When will it do that? I'm not sure. This was a whole week of just straight up selling, which is sad. It's not unlike what happened here. What a scam. Okay, well that's that. Those are all the memes. Looking at the main ones, saw HBAR move and move 15%, which is pretty good. Uh, Usually this caps it off. Link is the same thing. It's already kind of hidden this area. I don't think it fucking breaks out. I mean, it may. Usually, when these two move, these slow movers, it's over. We also saw XRP move like crazy today. That usually marks a top two. Yeah, yeah. This is what's gonna get retail all involved here. So maybe this time is different. We just came down here and then just boom. So P was at $1 yesterday. SKR Seeker coin. I'm not seeing any good plays. Like all of these are at resistance, and they could potentially go for another 10%, or it could just reverse, and then we're not gonna enjoy that. But then again, it is only $1,000 stop loss, right? That would be the risk reward here. If that's the case, then I might go with a super risky coin like this one. Because if it's either everything's going to move or we're all going to pull back. The potential here is also 10% on River. It's not a huge one. But it has a chance of going but bonkers insane and hitting that 50. Or even this. See what it did previously? Freaking insane to cap off the year. This drove me crazy around here. You see how they accumulates? Big sell off, small pump, sell off, and deviation, and boom, we're off 20x. So this is brutal, just like nonstop sell off. One pump that got sold off, and bought back. No deviation. This can be considered the bottom here. I like River. I'll put my bet on River. Yeah. And we'll just leave everything else intact because I just keep the more that I move things, the less certain I become. And it's not like we have a whole lot on the board either. These are just sprinkles. Don't get intimidated by all of the different positions I have open. It's just more for keeping track of where the price is, right? Like if I want to find, I treat it as a watch list. Like we're only open $200 here, so if it goes down 100%, we'll lose $200. I'm just like keeping an eye on these ones. These are important ones for me. This is silver, Monad, I mentioned earlier. So silver is making its move. Silver is worth it might catch interest again. By the time people catch interest, it is gonna have already hit $88. That would be like a 28% move. Silver. How much do we have in silver? Basically nothing. We can start a position. It's super. It's gonna move super slow, and it's also not gonna fall off a cliff. So very safe, worth it. And then the risky bet we have here is River, which I don't like the funding. It means every hour that it's open, you have to pay a fee, and that fee is pretty large for River. So I don't want it. Convex Finance, though, I don't know if it breaks out. Like all of these charts look like they're going to, which makes me feel like maybe it does. And everything, like everyone's just happy go lucky and printing money. And then people are gonna FOMO or whatever. I like you see every time one of these runs happen, it does go kind of crazy. Deviation, blam, tap tap into support, blam, right? Deviation, blam, come all the way down, tap into support, blam. That's just kind of what CVX does. Let's see what the funding is for it. CVX US. Yeah, not bad. Funding is 0.005%. Let's make the bet. It's possible. I give it a 50-50 chance. So no edge. We have no edge here. However, see how Bitcoin's also pulling back now. I just don't like it. I don't want to give back $1,000. All right, let's go 5,000 here. Silver, I don't mind because it's not going to go down 10% in a day. So all right, let's do it. The official bet that we have here. Official bet. BVX USDT 5K for 5K, risking a 2-to-1, $1,000 or minus $500. Let's do that. Why not? In order to do that, we're going to need to start the position up by market order. Because what I want to do is set a stop loss 10%. That'd be $500. And then if we're trying to get a 2-to-1, that means we set the take profit at 20%. And let's kind of, we don't want to not get our order filled. So you want to leave it within a wick. So it's like 18%. So we're getting 1.8 to 1 here. You could basically just walk away from the stream. It's either going to stop you out or it's going to pay you out. That's it, right? Unless it just moves within these price perfectly for the remainder of our lives, which it's never done. So think we're pretty good here. It's possible that what happens is you see all this support in these areas, these wicks. It's probably going to John Wick down here and then pop. So, realistically, if we give it a little more space, I still don't like that idea. It just means we might be losing more. It's just a bad place to be, It's a bad place to be. That's why a lot of people don't use stops, just because it might just come down and then push up. We can always risk 1,000 to make 1,000, there. So now we have a completely zero edge, right? This is a 50-50. We're risking one to make one. We're going to pay some fees in the process. Whatever. Let's just see how this one goes. CVX. That's how we're going to close this off. There's still a lot of reading and stuff to be done here, but I think I'm done for tonight. I'm pretty much done for tonight here. It's been a pretty fantastic move. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I'm not gonna open any positions for tomorrow. We're gonna leave it through the weekend. I do believe though that if we're gonna pull back, we're gonna pull back into the weekend and then come back up. 67 is where we're gonna end up. That's the trigger, dip buy mode, and pow, finished. We can ride off into the sunset for the next move. And the psychology behind that is like, yeah, I think at least 30% of the time when you have a bottom forming like this. So I'll show you what the bottom forming I'm talking about. When you have a bottom that's forming like this is a crazy ass candle. When was the last time this happened? Right here, right? This is a perfect example. When you have a bottom forming like this, you have this big candle, it doesn't stop, right? It never actually comes back down to these area. It just keeps pushing. So that happens at least 30% of the time. Like it happened here too. However, sometimes you'll get something like this where it comes back down and then it pushes. So I say this because with what's happening literally in front of our eyes right now is a bottom forming. Do I expect it to dip? No, I don't. Will it be a gift? Yes. Oh, I'm telling you the psychology behind it, right? So the psychology usually, so there's two forms. No matter what, it's bullish. This is bullish. This is bullish. But the psychology behind something that doesn't pull back is the demand is so high and there's so much pent up demand, and everyone who wanted to sell has already sold. So it's just everyone's chasing to buy, right? And everyone's waiting for a pullback, but it never comes. So they chase each other to buy again. And then finally a pullback comes and they get scared. So they sell. And then it goes down to like this wick here, but it gets bought back because all the people that are waiting to buy are buying. And this is the lowest price they can get now. And then the people who sold are like, fuck, I need to buy back in. So it ends up continuing to go higher and higher until it's like a top, right? So that's the psychology of this version. The psychology of a pullback version, where it's like, you get the push up and then it's pulling back. It pulls back for here from March all the way to September, which is so brutal. It's kind of what we had over here from February all the way to now. This type of a pullback, it's the reason why it does make this, so it's like deep pullback, pop, deeper pullback, so many sellers, deepest pullback, everyone's losing hope, comes up, oh my god, it's going to fall back down again. Everyone who's not bullish is gone. Then it pushes, and in this final dip before the push, it doesn't really, it's like a shallow dip, right? It's not really a pullback. It's just a shallow dip. We'll call it a pullback. And the psychology behind that is, well, the people who wanted to buy each time, they don't they're so eager to buy that the price doesn't go any lower, right? So like I don't think this is a great example because you have so much time to buy here. Here, boom, this is a like surprise. Everybody is closing their shorts and they're telling everybody that they know to buy Bitcoin, but it keeps pushing in a straight line. If it does come back down, the price is not going to go down far. It's going to be like this. And that's because everyone who wants to buy, well, they're going to have their pocketbooks open right now. And so why is that different between scenario A and scenario B? I guess the psychology is almost the same in both. It's just that though what does the market give you, right? Well, the reason why we would pull back further is to shake out some of these hands that are scared, right? That are kind of like these type of people who don't really believe that it's gonna go back up to 125K. So then if you're shaking them, it's gonna be painted on a chart because they're literally selling. Like, oh fuck, I bought in yesterday and it's already coming back. I'm gonna sell. And there's a lot of those people, then the price is going to go down, and then the people who are waiting to buy, who still want to buy, they're going to pick it up, right? So in both scenario A and B, those buyers exist and they're heavy. That's why it keeps going up, right? However, the difference between scenario A and scenario B is in scenario A, there are less people who are willing to sell because they believe that the price is going to go up higher. Whereas in this scenario, there's like all of this shakeout that's happening that they kind of don't really, even if though they bought and they're in profit, they don't really believe that this is going to happen because all they've seen for 7 months is this, right? So they might end up selling again and then it'll take off. But either way, there's always going to be that demand, right? So I think that's what's the important thing here to note. The demand is fucking here. Now, do people think that it's going to 125K? I don't truly believe that that's true. I just got into a fight with Shady today because he's such a non-believer and he's hardcore non-believer, even though he was like a huge Bitcoin fan. It's just so redundant. And like, we're not even talking anymore. But there's a lot of people that have that mentality right now. So any pullback is a gift. So I don't know if we get to 67. Maybe we only get to 70. But if we get down here, it's because, well, people are scared and people are not ready. And the people who say, oh yeah, you know what, when it comes back down, I'll buy. When it comes down here, they're not going to buy. Instead, the people who want to buy are going to buy, and then they're going to buy again when it's up here, right? So what's the game plan? Maybe we just go straight up in a line. We're already positioned a little bit, so whatever, we'll let it rock. If it comes down here, then we quadruple, quintuple, and then we ride it off in there. If it comes down even further, then we'll just buy more, and then if it comes down even further, maybe that's when we'll be like, hey, that was the wrong bet. But it really looks like this is it. Like from a pure supply demand perspective, demand super high, supply might still be there because they're scared hands. And why they're scared hands? Because specifically this area here, PTSD from this area, same thing as with this. Whereas here it didn't do that. I mean, I remember this and it kind of did feel a little scary, but there were more willing buyers here because it was euphoric. It's like, oh shit, okay, this is the dip to buy, and then it pushed. So it's like similar, right? If it comes down, this is the dip to buy, and it'll go up. Who knows if it goes up to all-time highs again? Maybe we end up at 90 and then come back down. Either way, there's a lot of money to be made. Tons. Let's see how our CVX position does. How's it doing now? We're in it and we're up $7. Let's go. Let's go.